feel the same way, Susan.
All right.
Can only walk.
I call the meeting order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. And before we begin, I would like to inform all of you attending tonight's meeting that pursuant to Indiana Code 5-14-1.5, this meeting is being broadcast live and recorded for documentation. All right, so moving on to the agenda. The first item that we have is the approval of the previous meeting's minutes, which Janet sent out back on the 2nd. I believe I saw that. Thank you for that, Janet. I know I had to take a chance to take a look through them myself. Granted, I was not in attendance at the meeting, but everything appeared to look in order. I don't believe I saw any revisions requested, so...
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second that motion.
Very well. And is there any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously, 3-0. Okay, treasurer's report. So I know I got a copy sent out to me earlier, and it looks like there's a single copy printed for me from Janet.
Yes.
Or from Angela, rather.
Yeah, I printed those for you. I didn't know if you wanted me to make a copy for everyone. I made.
No, that's fine. So I know when I took a look through it, we were sitting pretty okay. We were at about 67% remaining for the year on our budget. So we're doing okay. That does not reflect, however, some business that council took at their last meeting with regards to the slide and the power washing. So I know Angela, that night I talked about maybe doing a funds transfer later this year in lieu of doing an initial appropriation. But anyhow, Angela had also sent out, not an email, but in the minutes at the last meeting in June, which I was not able to attend, that she wants a rough draft by the end of July. So I know now that I had the latest numbers here today, I was going to be looking over each line item and kind of what we've done year to date to see what we want to look at for the next year. At the June meeting, it was 20%, but at the council meeting, I'll look to Mr. Jarbo to correct me if I'm wrong, but 30% is more like the number that we're looking at for the budget reduction.
Over the next 3 years, correct?
Yes, okay. So, anyhow, I would ask that you all take a look at it as well, based on expenses that we've had year to date, things we might think that are coming up, and send any revisions to Angela here by the end of the month as well. Okay. Next item under Treasurer's Report, we have the vouchers. And I'm going to rattle off some numbers here, Janet, for your benefit. So we have the payroll vouchers in the amount of $4,551.47. And then we have the accounts payable vouchers in the amount of $9,876.15. To make the most use of our time, we're going to circle back to officially approving these. And we'll do a roll call vote after each of you. I've had a little chance to look at them. All right. Moving on then, Park Administrator's Report.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did Angela send us like recaps of that? I could not open, I was driving. But she sent emails. Was it a breakdown of that we haven't had before?
So I have asked Angela in the past for a copy of the fund report, our appropriation report, and the revenue report. And so she's been sending those to me either by email or they're printed here at the meeting.
We got them this time.
Yes, I did
Okay.
see she sent that. Yes. So.
I mean, it's helpful that we can review it beforehand.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Park Administrator's Report. Janet.
I want to tell you that the concerts on the 17th, which is the Mason-Dixon line, has gotten over 100 hits for people liking and passing it on to another 30-some people. Denny Warman is sponsoring the Mason-Dixon Line concert. Y'all know Denny, right? Okay. Do you know Denny? Okay, good. And then on the 31st, the Rebranded is coming back. That's the soft Christian rock type of group. And MERS Plumbing and Heating is going to sponsor them. So those two are all taken care of.
What's the date for the
17th is Mason-Dixon Line.
of July?
31st is Rebranded, the Rebranded.
So that's this week.
This Thursday and then the last Thursday of the month. Okay, and then we're working on another concert. We have a group of young men who are 16, 17, 18 who formed a rock band 2 years ago. And they play at Sweetwater, and Sweetwater actually recommended. They really want to come out and they want to do a teen night. So we're working on that right now. I got to get a sponsor for them, and then we'll schedule something, and that'll just be, and we'll just probably call it a teen night because they play current teen music. So we'll figure that out when it comes to it. Crafts are going good. Every week we get new faces. This last week we had 7 people we'd never seen before that lived down off of Russell that heard about us and drove all the way out to come out for crafts. And
Cool.
they said they're all coming back this week, so that was really fun. Of course, rentals are, we're booking the first week and second week of October right now, so everything else is done. Riverside Gardens picked up, and we did, I think 11 Riverside Garden rentals in the last 4 weeks, so those really picked up with this heat and people wanting to come to the splash pad, so
Yeah.
that's where we're at.
Don't sign.
Yeah.
Okay. Until we prove it. So just looking through the accounts payable, sorry.
I'm good.
Yes, I think I had the right one. Koala changing station at Riverside Gardens had to get replaced.
The what is?
The baby changing station had to get replaced at Riverside Gardens. Did I see that?
It was the original, and it
Gotcha.
broke off, and Brian
Yeah.
Brian could not fix it, and Brian put a new one on. Yep.
Original, wow, I made it quite a long time.
It was either a really fat baby or it all set on it, so.
And you'd have to have a hiney up to here to set up on that. That's really a high thing, so.
Unless they jump.
So Janet, for minutes purposes, I read what was on the summary, the accounts payable, but sorry, I got those numbers backwards before on payroll versus accounts payable.
Oh, just switch them?
Yes, they should be
Okay.
reversed. Any other questions for Janet?
So the 4551 is accounts payable, the 9876 is salary.
Payroll.
Payroll.
Yes.
I have a question. When is the last craft?
The
that was
last,
approved?
the last Wednesday of July will be Teacher Appreciation Day, and all the gifts and everything that we'll be doing will be for kids to take back to their classrooms for their
Okay.
teachers. And then the next week, they start school.
Amazing.
I know.
Yeah, August 8th.
The
August
6th, teachers
7th.
go back the 3rd, and yeah, kids go back the 6th. It's crazy. Sorry, but it's crazy. It's too soon. I guess I should have told you too, we lost a maintenance man, he resigned, so we're back to we're just back to Brian and Brandon are the only two again, we lost Ricky, so.
Was he part-time?
Yeah,
How many hours?
like 20.
Was he doing just Cedarville, or he was doing everything? Do we still,
Well, he was helping.
do we have a Cedarville guy still though?
He quit, he got a
So we
better
don't
job.
have a Cedarville guy?
No.
That would help?
Well, to me, that guy was working 25 to 30 hours a week to just do Cedarville.
I
Well,
see.
And it doesn't look any better than it does right now, so. And we spend like 3 to 4 hours a week there. Well, so,
Well, Don did an excellent job, and I will tell you that, he really did do a good job, and he often then went to Riverside and mowed too, so.
nuts.
But
was
he,
picking
on
nuts up
average, I
all-
looked at his hours, on average, he worked 24 to 26, and it was almost all mowing, so he was getting a lot done. And he was here with us for, almost 5 years, and
I got a retired guy that might consider doing that, something like that.
If there's nothing else for Janet then, we'll go ahead and move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the town manager's report. Tyler was not able to make it tonight, but he did submit a copy here for all of us to read through. Some highlights that Janet was going to mention before Tyler typed this up, I guess. The Imagination Station washing is expected here in July and the seal coat in August. There's an item on here about the splash pad being maintenance, which Brian, if you just want to speak to that real quick.
On the leak?
No, on the surface condition.
Well, I mean, it's always been a problem with us being slippery, but, I think we're probably gonna have to let it live until the end of the season, and then probably, I'm gonna look at some different options, but, I mean, it's always been a slippery hazard, always. So, I mean, we're just trying to stay on top of it and power washers, I mean.
Is it still slippery even directly after we power wash it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's.
So it's not like it just builds up faster?
No,
Okay.
no, I mean, obviously, with buildup it makes it worse, but
Okay.
it doesn't make it, there's probably 4 sections that are probably 3 foot by 4 foot area,
Okay.
and.
What is Fort Wayne's?
What's that?
I think they have like a rubber membrane, Fort Wayne's.
I've never been there,
It's
so.
not slippery. That'd be worth checking into what
But
that
there's
is.
also in working though, right? And there's shut down, they're just tore up, it's all, they're breaking down.
Yeah, but, yeah, there was some kind, it seems like it's like some kind of a rubbery surface, I don't know.
Okay.
Ours is concrete, so I don't know where you go.
Yeah, right. Okay.
All right, thank you, Brian. There's also an item on here about rentals being available on all the internal calendars. And then yes, as mentioned previously, once the new website is finishing, we'll be looking to export those so they can be viewed from the public.
all the open dates are online now.
They are. Okay.
I posted them in the beginning of July, for July, and so anybody that looks at the park page can see the openings.
Posted on, a post on
my
the Facebook page.
On my page,
Yes,
because we're
sure.
getting a new,
Yes.
we're supposed to be getting a new
Website page, yes, gotcha. A fourth item on here, we'll be considering adding the town manager's cell phone and the maintenance cell phone to the contract. We had an issue this weekend that someone had an electrical issue, could not reach the park line. So Janet is hourly, and according to employment law, we cannot expect her to answer when she is on her own time. So I'm trying to remember, Janet, on the signs that we have down at the park, it had listed your cell phone number, or it actually is listed
It
the
has
maintenance cell phone
Tom's.
number?
It has Tom's number it has the number in here, and then
Okay.
it has Tom's number for maintenance.
Okay,
Mostly for the bathroom maintenance, so when they
Sure.
run out of toilet paper and they run out of things like that. She
Okay.
did call the town page, and she did call the town number, and she did leave a message saying, I think we might have plugged in too many things, we've
trip the breaker.
turned all the power,
Okay.
yeah, so, which they did. They had
Let's
Like,
simple
a
enough.
lot.
a lot.
My welder takes less power than what they have plugged into the
Yeah.
main breaker, so.
What was it? Oh, a lot of things?
Oh, yeah, like, it was pretty much a commercial kitchen.
Crock-pot.
Wow.
And a big flat top electric.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it was fans, speakers.
Oh, my.
All right. Next item, Tyler's received the first quote for internet down the Imagination Station. Once he gets a few more quotes, he'll circle back and we'll discuss it more in depth. Regarding the broken slide that we have down at Cedarville Park, as I mentioned a moment ago, council did take that up as part of authorizing money for the power washing and sealing of the Imagination Station. They included that item in as well. So that's on its way, but Tyler is working on getting a better price for the shipment of it, which was
$2,000.
about $2,000.
$2,000 to ship it Federal Express or UPS, I know.
And yeah, so anyhow, That's under work. And then also, there's a group of teenage volunteers scheduled for September 13th. So we'll be working on compiling work for them. All right, so then you've had a chance to look at the vouchers
Yep,
now?
yep.
Okay. Are there any questions about the vouchers other than the one I asked?
I have no questions.
Okay, so to that effect, I would like to have a motion to adopt the payroll vouchers first.
I'll move that we accept the payroll vouchers as written.
Second.
Okay, and we will, if there's no further discussion,
Roll call.
hearing none, yep, we'll go to a roll call vote. So we will start off with David.
Aye. Yes.
Dirk is also a yes, and
Yes.
Sue Ann.
Yes, yes.
Very good. And they are approved by a vote of 3-0. Okay, we will move on to the accounts payable vouchers in the amount of $4,551.47. I would entertain a motion to that effect.
I'll move that we accept these accounts payable vouchers as written.
Okay,
Second.
very well. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Same order. David?
Yes.
Very well. Dirk is also a yes. And Sue Ann?
Yes.
Very well. They are approved 3-0 unanimous. And Sue Ann, yep, after you sign it. I wanted to make sure it came back this way, so I wouldn't forget to sign it, so. All right, let us go ahead and move on to old business. And the first item we have on here is Imagination Station repairs / workday update. So, Brian, I'm gonna ask you about the repair component first. Got parts, we're still just trying to find time, right, with everything going on?
We did replace some of the chains on the little walk thing, didn't know it was even broken.
Okay.
We were up there one day, it was broken, and well, yeah, I got a call from, or somebody stopped in about it. And, we had already seen it, pulled it off, and actually, by the time she came in and talked to Janet, I already, the materials were sitting in my truck.
There you go.
So that's been replaced. This stuff for the walk bridge, again, and to fix the swings are at the bottom, we just haven't got to it yet. Which doesn't really affect anything that's going on right now with the power wash or anything.
Excuse me.
There are some other things that, the one rope ladder thing, I don't know what you call it, but it's kind of seeing its days. There are pieces that are kind of coming apart on it.
That's one of the items we flagged, I thought, when we did that workday, didn't we?
I don't remember, it's been a while ago.
Okay. Okay. That was one of the, not the trellis, but rather the single,
No.
or was the actual trellis?
The rope thing that you kind of climb up to the next level.
On the angle, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're just old and wore out, and they're rusting, the bolts that hold them together are rusting, so I don't know if that's gonna be completely replaced or if we can repair it. I mean, kind of start getting into a liability issue when we start repairing stuff like that instead of replacing it.
When we were out there on that field day, that's, I mean, Tyler mentioned the same thing as far as replacing it with a non-playground certified chain, et cetera, right?
Yeah.
And the covering as well.
Can it, some of the stuff, could that one I thought could just be removed?
Well,
And a closure.
yeah, kind of, but I mean, you kind of,
Well, I mean, there's a balance. I mean, at some
Yeah.
point, and I, not knowing, I know certain things are favorites over there. I don't know if that's a favorite. I mean, if there's certain things like that that are gonna take, this much money, and the money could go over to another thing that really is a favorite, and you just close something off. I just think it's a possibility to consider. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't looked at it overly closely because I wasn't, I just seen it the other day, so that it was a couple of them were kind of pulled apart. But they have, the bolts are basically just rusted away. And then, obviously the old slide, we got that blocked off, and obviously coming out to a $2,000 shipping charge, so we're working on something differently there.
Thank you.
It's been a while since we were over there, Brian, on that assessment day, but with all the other chains and the coverings as well, there weren't really many, besides this rope ladder perhaps, that we actually flagged that I can recall.
The rest of the stuff's all stuff that we can fix pretty easily. I mean, obviously the slide was kind of a big
Yes.
teeth, but
Mhm.
that was kind of expected. There's really no real repair for it, so kind of where it was broke. So it's just wore out. So, but other
The
than that,
the big tire thing, that A-frame, that was one of our big items too.
Yes,
but
and those parts, yeah.
right, but that's working. There's not really not a problem with it.
Right.
Other than the boot is tore on it.
Can I meet you over there Friday morning and we can take a look at it?
Yeah, we'll probably shut down.
Okay. Go ahead and move on to Cedarville Pavilion Security System. So I know I've had this on the agenda for a few months now. We were getting some additional quotes. I didn't see it discussed, I don't believe, in the June meeting minutes. So without any further update, I'm going to go ahead and suggest we table that item. Which takes us to the license agreement administrator's policies updates. So in front of all of you should be a copy of the draft for the full use license agreement, and we have some extra copies, so if you want, I'll let you know. So, I don't know if you want to share. And you guys can flip the time for the other one. So this is a culmination of lots of different conversations, lots of different persons. I just wanted to go through and hit the highlights of what's in here, and then we can have discussion on that afterwards. So a number of items were just kind of consolidated and reordered and or expanded. So there's mention, for example, we had alcoholic beverages. Under that section, we had an item in there stating that if you were going to do this, you had to have a permit for that, and you had to provide it prior to 10 days prior is what it said. Well, in addition to if you're serving food, it's something that you're having catered, or if you have a special event, it's over a certain size, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I added some language in there basically stating that the licensee is responsible for obtaining all the necessary permits from third parties to hold their event, and they shall provide those to us 10 days prior to the event.
So if their caterer provides alcohol under a license agreement, is that acceptable?
As long as they get a permit.
A permit
From the alcohol and bev,
yeah,
There we go.
ABC in
Yes.
Columbia City.
Yep.
okay.
I have the permits. I just email them, they fill them out, the
Yep.
sheriff signs them, it's,
So,
you know.
anyhow, that was one item. Another item was just talking about the cleanup component. So previously, we had this information talking about where if additional cleanup or removal was required, they'd be responsible for an additional cleanup charge of $25 per hour. That was clarified to be $25 per hour per person, for as many people as is necessary, depending on what degree of cleanup it is. And then it also expands on that particular item by stating that the licensee must complete the credit card authorization form upon receipt of the contract, regardless of the payment method used to pay the rental fee. So that's something where we had the credit card authorization later in, but we're putting it in the actual contract that they must fill it out.
Kind of like a hotel.
And they
Yes.
have been, since you
Yes.
told me in
Yep.
June, everybody's been doing it, so.
Yep, so it's just kind of putting language in there to reinforce that point. And then coming to kind of the bigger ticket item, or some of the bigger ticket items perhaps. So cancellations, the same statements on here before as far as rentals canceled 30 days or more in advance of the event date will receive a full refund. I modified that to say minus the non-refundable fee for payment made by credit card if applicable. And then this other sentence on here, no refunds are given for cancellations less than 30 days before the event date unless authorized by a majority vote of the park board at its regular meeting. That's just putting a little bit more
Right.
discretion on any refunds that are given, more than what we already have. So, and then also coming to the fee schedule. So this is one that we've been doing some things differently to try to maximize how much rental income we were getting based on what people actually wanted. So the previous agreement had it set up to where you'd have partial day times, and the partial day time would cost you this certain amount, and it was between 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. or 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And in speaking with Janet and then looking at the data, there's a lot of rentals that want to go from noon to 6, or they want to go from 10 to 4. They want to go over basically that 2-hour break that we had. But we weren't charging them the full day price at that point. We were taking the partial day price and charging them an
Only-
additional amount.
Only on Sundays, though. We
So-
do not do that on Saturdays, period. Our Saturdays, 7 to 2 and 4 to 10, perfect timing for most people. But Sundays, yes. We flexed it, so.
So we had very few, at least in 2024 that is. There was only maybe half a dozen full day rentals that we actually had.
What are we talking about? I'm sorry, what?
So for the full day rental rate,
Oh, on a Saturday?
this is for all the data that we had in 2024 for revenue received. In terms of what we charged, we had, I'm looking at here, it looks like about half a dozen. 450, 450, 450, 450, 450, and one non-resident that was 500. There are very, very many more. They're all this $300 rental rate.
Sundays. All Sundays are 300 flat.
And then we've got quite a few that are at the 290, quite a few are at the 250.
Did you mean to say that a full day is only 350? A full day on a Saturday is only
Well,
350?
So we only had 6 rentals that were in 2024.
Okay.
That were 450, 450, and then the one
Well,
non-resident was 500.
But now think about that. That's because of all of the Saturdays that we are, our number one seller on a Saturday is a baby shower. From 6 nobody needs a baby shower past 2 o'clock. Now, Sundays, yeah, 300, they want flex time, but on a Saturday, if you look at my books right now, you'll see that Saturdays, baby shower, every Saturday. So 6 to 2, 4 to 10 on Saturday, I think is golden. I think Sunday is the one that, you know,
At least in looking at your book from 2024, though, there seem to be very few, relatively, instances where we had 2 rentals in the same day, though,
what? On Saturdays?
on a Saturday.
I never had an open,
You never had an open Saturday, correct? But
Yeah.
that you had 2 rentals on the same day on a Saturday?
not, almost 90% of the time, it's 2 rentals on a Saturday. Always,
Okay.
always, always. I don't know what you were looking at, but always.
Okay.
Because 500 is what we do for people that don't live in town. We do 250 for halves for people that do live, so we still get the 500 no matter what. So you're saying right now, if they want to rent, instead of paying 250 for the half, if they live in Leo, you're saying for another 100 they can have the full day. Is that what you're saying?
Based on the book,
No, I don't based on the book. I'm just saying, you tell me that you're saying if somebody calls me and says, how much for a full day in October on a Saturday, you're saying it's not 500 anymore or 450, it is now going to be 350 if they want the full day.
350 based on the fact that most of the rentals, and so this is the caveat, again, with the prices that we had for the 250 and the 290, all those in effect are going from 250 and 290 to what I propose is 350, which is an overall increase.
But you said 350 for a full day.
Correct.
I still have 90% of my rents are morning for 250, afternoon for 250, which is $500 income for the park. Why would I want to give the whole day away for 350 when I'm making 500 every single Saturday?
The rental book did not suggest
Yes,
that.
I'm sorry, I will disagree with you because I will go get my book right now and show you, I do not have an open Saturday. Every Saturday from January on has been rented 2 times, morning and afternoon. 250, 250, 290, 290 every week. I think we're shortchanging ourselves at this price. I'm sorry, but
Okay.
I do think that this is almost too reasonable for a full day.
On Saturday.
Well,
On a Saturday,
On
yes.
On Saturday.
I think it's too
in the
cheap.
times I had seen, Gina, and looking through your book, there were a lot that were going across that partial time, that 2 to 4 time frame.
I don't do 2 to 4.
Well, you're right, it was like 12 to 6, and we were charging the partial day
On
price.
Sundays only. I don't know where you got your data, but I look at that book every single day, Monday through Friday, and I'm telling you, the only time we do flex time is Sunday, and we let them do 8 hours on Sunday for 300. Saturdays are our golden. I think Saturdays are our golden time.
Dirk, it sounds to me like we need to have a Monday through Thursday schedule, a Friday schedule, a Sunday schedule, a Saturday schedule based on usage. I mean, if we're getting two
250s or 290s
that
every
makes sense on
Saturday.
Saturday, it's a premium
Yeah.
day.
We have baby showers in the morning, we have wedding showers or family dinners
So
or birthday
why
parties.
would that show up in the 2024 records?
I don't know what he's looking at, but I still
In
have,
2024, you would say the same thing?
I'd say the same thing. Last year, we did out of 452 weeks, last year I counted, we did 41 baby showers on a Saturday morning. And I make the sign for them, so I'm telling you, it is our goal, it is a golden time for us. I'm booking baby showers right now all the way into December for people that just found out they're pregnant. So this is just too cheap. I think I have to agree, I have to say that I really think it's too cheap to tell somebody you can have 290 for half a day, or if you give me 60 more, I'll let you have the whole day.
We'll go ahead and revisit this. Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm actually looking on the calendar, and I gotta agree with Janet, I mean, we're just going through here.
This is the 2024 book to qualify that.
But my 2024, my 2025 are money-wise, we did 56, we're gonna do 62 this year. So the reason why we're making a little more this year, we have picked up weekday rentals at 160. We have started to advertise, we're getting business meetings, we're getting people coming in during the weekdays. We're starting to pick up more weekday rentals, and that we have not had that too much in the past, but it's starting to catch on. Come get the pavilion for half a day or a full day in the week. So I don't know where you got it,
Well-
but I really think this is too cheap, because here's what's going to happen. Okay, right now we're booking, like today, I booked 2 in December today for Christmas parties. If they're paying me $290 to come in from 4 to 10 on a Saturday to have a Christmas party, and in the morning, I've got another Christmas party that's doing a Senate breakfast at $250, $290. Why would I tell
Okay,
somebody?
we get that.
Yeah,
It's just, we need to just address Saturday then, as a different
Yeah,
day.
well.
This
but-
probably makes sense for everything but Saturday.
Okay, and that'll do, but, we need the money coming in like we have it coming in now, so.
So this was the data that I got from Angela earlier this year. that showed all of the revenue that we took in, that had the price that we charge and the renter, and then the deposit date. And in the renter column, it's got all the various dates that were rented. And there's a lot of unique dates to where they're not the same day. So,
And you do understand that, like right now, we're gonna take in probably $6,000 to $8,000 next month and the month after for 2026, because we open our books for college, high school, whatever graduation, and we fill May, June, and July. In like the next 4 to 5 weeks, they're gonna start, as soon as school starts, parents immediately start calling me for graduation dates, and we, you know, and
so Janet, I'm totally fine with revisiting this. Again, what
Yeah.
I was trying to capture
I'm-
was the 2024 data and what we're seeing. And that was basically taking the 450 rate, but it was the full day that you only had 6 of, versus the 300 and the 290 and the 250s, and all trying to bring that collectively up.
And
So,
also too, she's
but-
only giving you what was paid, the 10,000 that was paid the year before is not in that book. Because she does, I mean, whatever was paid the year before when people rent early, yeah, it's not in there.
Yeah, but
So-
then it would have the early people from 2025 too, though, unless that's just as it's happening. That,
Yeah,
I'd say move on from this, Dirk, and then revisit it
Yeah.
with Angela and see why she's got it that way.
So Janet, let's touch base then on doing partial days again, because, you know, like I said, the way I was looking through the data, we had 169 rentals, roughly in 2024. And the way that shakes out is if you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 52 weeks a year, that's about 150 plus a handful during the week. So, okay.
I'm just not sure why you want to lower our rate when we're gonna lose money. But that's,
Okay. We'll revisit it then. All right. Next item on the agenda, we have the Walnut Table Disposition, which this was a rollover from the last month's meeting that I had on here and the May meeting that we took, and we
Right.
disposed of the first walnut table, but that one was the owner Steady Eddie's that we did that so they could refurbish it and repurpose it and put it to a better use. This second one here is something that, David, you were interested in getting back, and we do have 3 of us here, but I don't think for conflict of interest you can vote. So
That doesn't
that means
matter.
we have 2 of us.
I just
here,
don't want
so-
it to disappear and go away, so.
So I think we need to table that to
Okay.
a future meeting then. Splash pad leak. So Brian, I'm gonna ask you to speak to this one, because yes, since,
Okay, one thing I don't know about this leak, how long has that leak been going on? Do we know? I mean, how long has it?
last year,
left?
it started last year in the middle of summer.
Okay,
And we all went out and looked at it, and it was spongy.
Okay.
It was probably July when it shouldn't have been spongy because it was hot,
right.
and then it dried up, and then it got spongy again.
Okay, I didn't know if this was a 2 or 3 year thing.
Nope,
if
this
was-
is,
okay.
no.
So, originally, we talked about moving the rocks around, which was kind of a
Partial
bad
issue.
design from
Yeah.
original, which was an issue. And to me, I was just eliminating, trying to, process elimination. Tried that first, we spent 2 days out there moving rocks around and sealing everything up. Seemed to work. Okay, so we're pretty excited. Until we had our first very, very, very busy day, and the thing ran nonstop all day long. And we just happened to stop by there at the end of the day and look, and the whole thing was flooded. So, we shut off what we thought was the problem,
compacted well enough and you start getting some settling issues or something.
Right,
Yeah.
so, I haven't seen any signs of the concrete cracking in that area. And there's a couple other cracks, but, I mean, you expect it. But I haven't seen any that says that there's an issue there, that it's, the void is gonna be a problem. I mean, you got kids on there, that's it. It's not like you got 10 cars piled on top of it, so it's not an ungodly amount of weight on it. So I say we just keep observing it through the summer and have to address it if it becomes an issue, but I don't think it's gonna be an issue. Like I said, to me, it wouldn't make sense to tear the concrete up to fix one fixture that nobody has really missed. And it's kind of the one that's right in the middle of it. There's tons of other stuff going on around it, so I don't think it's ever gonna be missed. And I would just say, don't do anything until we need to.
Sounds good.
I know you and I talked about that, and I was on board with that. So, yeah, you're both fine with that? Okay.
It's kind of like what I'm saying, things over there, I make those kind of decisions.
What's
If
that?
something costs too much and it doesn't make sense and nobody's missing it,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It is something I do wonder though, Brian, as far as that splash pad being 12 years old now, if this is just a sign of things to come.
Well, after looking through all the blueprints, and trust me, to find the most recent blueprints was not an easy task. But, from what I can see, it could have been, it's a pretty complex piece. It's probably the most complex piece in all the things out there. It's a lot of fittings, a lot of pieces, a lot of, parts. So it could just be because of that. You know, you got copper lines and stuff like that. Or it wasn't winterized properly. But I still think that even if it wasn't winterized properly, it would have probably not broke, you know, so, like I said, it's probably the most complex piece there, so, and there's like, I don't know, probably 10 or 15, there's probably at least 15 sprayers, and then one in the middle that doesn't even work, but after pulling it apart, I think it's just something that happened. I mean, like I said, it's what, 13 years old, 12, 13?
So 2013 is when it opened.
Do we know the longevity of most splash pads?
Well, we've doubled the life out of the imagination station, so
Yeah.
maybe we can double the life out of this, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I don't see any real issues on any of the other stuff. I mean, we might have to replace some stuff here and there, but, like I said, personally, I wouldn't tear into it unless we have to, because it would be a very, very, very costly, measure.
You mentioned looking at the blueprints. Were they designed to have a fall from the fixture back to the manifold?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
everything's got a drain that comes back to the manifold that at the end of the winter, we open the valve up and just let it back drain. And
Is that the kind of thing where you could test though, in terms of if I put 5 gallons in, do I get 5 gallons out?
well,
See if
that's
there's
kind
a
of,
really small-
that's kind of how we diagnosed the problem.
Okay.
We had, by the way, when we had, it's kind of complex the way they made it. It's probably more complex than it needs to be. But with that being said, that whole cavity was so full of water that normally we would shut something off, and within probably 3 minutes, the drain is down to just a drip, except for that one there. It was just a nonstop, constant flow of water, which was the water underneath the concrete, just,
Mhm.
you know,
one last question. So, obviously we had water was leaking, was going out, but that water was occupying a void underneath.
Right.
By taking the water away, you said we're not seeing any signs of cracking whatsoever.
No, I checked this morning even after I
Okay.
power washed it. I mean, there's a few cracks in the slab, but the slab's the entire size of the pad with no cut lines, relief cuts. So I'm surprised it isn't cracked more than it is, even without this problem. So,
Okay.
so I'm assuming there's an excessive amount of rebar in there and stuff. So I haven't seen any signs of it sagging. There's kind of a swell through there, but I think it's probably when the concrete was poured, not because, I mean, you know, pretty hard to get concrete to do a dip, a little dip like this going all the way to the edge. So
Okay.
pretty sure it's fine.
Okay.
And one other thing we did do with, because we've been having issues with obviously sand coming into the splash pad and of course kids plugging up the drain. So we did make something, I actually put about 50 pounds worth of steel as a new drain cover. So before it was just basically a drain that's the size of this piece of paper,
Beehive.
sit
Yeah.
flat, so throw a couple leaves, a couple pieces of rock over top of it. Next thing you know, go from 2 inches water to 2 foot water, which huge liability. So I built a basically a big dome drain cover, and it's full right out with concrete, and we've got it covered with rock. So if they're gonna plug the drain up, they're gonna work pretty awful hard for it. So
Okay. Well, that takes us into the next item, which was the lazy river signage, which from the June minutes, I know Tyler was looking into getting some signage up for that. I didn't see that in his report. Do you, either of you two know anything about that then?
No,
In terms of
just gave them
signage?
instructions, they were
Okay.
gonna do it, yeah.
So we feel, with what we've got there though, maybe the
Oh,
need for
the
signage is
Parental
going down.
responsibility thing.
yeah, honestly, I think this it pretty much fixes the problem. I mean, like I said, they're gonna earn it pretty hard to try to plug it down, so.
So maybe you just figured it wasn't worth having the sign.
Okay.
If that fixed it.
And then we also have, it took me, Brandon, and several very large bars and several to get, there's a pretty hefty rock sitting on top of it, so.
Okay.
But we're also,
Good job.
the kids are young as well, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Next item that I had on the agenda here was the Grand Pavilion Water Line, which again I added after looking at the minutes for the previous meeting, but that was in the town manager report and no update on that.
We may have a little bit of money coming back from the pickleball. And if we do,
Okay.
that will help pay for the $3,600 the water line. So
$3,600 the new amount?
the $3,600 was running the water line.
Yes.
And we may get a little bit of money coming back from pickleball, maybe $800-900. So that money, it has to be used. So I asked Angela if we get that back, could we use that on the water line? And she said yes. Because the council, when they made the vote to give us the money, said for park projects. They didn't specify anything.
Which one?
So,
Mhm.
because, and we can thank Greg for saying that because he said that. So that money that comes back, if they give that to us, we can put that towards the water line. I don't know how much it'll be, but that should definitely help cut that down a little bit. So we're waiting to hear this week how much they're going to give us back.
Okay.
Have you seen the pickleball court?
Yeah,
Did
it's
you like
nice.
it? The comments from people have been
Phenomenal.
phenomenal. They really like it, and it just so turned out the original pickleball sign was going to be purple and white, and the purple and white sign was going to cost an extra $80 because purple is a premium color to get. So he said, if you do it in blue, I can I can do it for you pretty much half, so we got blue. And then it turned out when they came out and did everything, it all looks really good together. So everybody says it looks phenomenal. And I mean, I've had nothing but people tell me how pleased they are that they have the pickleball now, so.
Yeah.
It's been super
Well,
good
they were
for us.
playing plenty with the temporary line, so.
Yeah, I was sad.
That day
People
that it
talk
rained
about me
so
over the
hard
winter,
last
so-
Wednesday,
Right.
last Wednesday when it rained so hard, I don't know if you remember, but I was over at the park getting ready for crafts, and they have teams now. They have regular scheduled teams, and they played during the entire rain for an hour and a half
course.
because it was their scheduled time, and it was just so cute to watch them play. They were laughing, having a good time. So
Very good. Very good. Okay, the next item on the agenda was committee reports. I don't believe there is anything to report there, which then takes us to new business. Something I wanted to bring up under new business that developed here over the weekend. So Amy is resigning from the park board. And so we're going to have a vacancy here, and David, in some conversations recently with an interested party, his name is Kevin Yale. I know him because he was a teacher over school when I was going there. But does anyone else know Kevin Yale? Yeah. He taught social studies and business education over at Leo for a lot of years. My goodness, 1980 to 2018. So yeah, I knew him for many, many years over there, but he was also here involved as a coach for Leo Cub Football League. He was a board member of that apparently for a time. He's also been involved with Indiana Special Olympics, and then he also volunteers some of his times with the Fort Wayne Trails as a delivery driver and a puffer belly trail ranger, as well as the Fort Wayne League for the Blind and Disabled, where he serves as a driver for blind residents. So
is he retired?
yes,
Okay.
yes. So
And he's a Democrat.
He's what?
He's a Democrat.
Oh,
Or independent,
yes.
Okay.
but mainly a Democrat.
okay.
So that is a good positive for our diversity.
So anyhow, again, I've known him for a large number of years, and I think he would do us well in terms of being both present and an active board member for us. So
Great.
to that effect, the way at least council's asked us in the past is for us to look at potential candidates when we have a vacancy and then make a recommendation to council for that to be considered. So what I would like is a motion to that effect, and then we can take it up at the council meeting next week. That got rescheduled to
Yeah,
Tuesday.
I'll make a motion to accept as a possibility to recommend to the council for our new board member to replace Amy.
And I'll second that motion. And do we know everyone else then is solid?
Yeah, she's okay.
She just couldn't be here tonight,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, her 81, 85
81-year-old aunt was visiting.
mother,
Her mom.
mother
Her mother, on
Yes.
one day, too.
from St. Louis. So, okay. Any further discussion? And
So Sue-Ann, we both talked to Amy, just said, this has been a problem, it's part of the critical nature of what's happened with us,
Right,
his attendance, and I said, Amy, if you're not gonna come, we can't fire her, but I said,
Right.
you can resign. She goes, I know, and I didn't then call Dirk and resign, so.
okay.
So we kind of precipitated to saying, hey, we just need to have attendance. And we've said this for a year now, so.
Yeah, we have, so that doesn't surprise me.
No.
and not
Yep.
just attendance, but an active
Participation.
member.
Right.
Kevin will be great, he's a big nature lover, and
Great.
he lives in Lions Gate for years, and I think he's gonna be a great addition.
Good.
So, I know we have Brian and Seamus in the crowd here. Any thoughts you'd like to offer?
No, I don't know the guy, so I
Okay.
have no recommendations there. I'll be honest, this is the first park board meeting I've ever been to,
Thank you for attending.
so, I wanna see what it's all about.
Yeah.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, with no further discussion,
Oh, yeah, we should prove it.
yeah, and I'll go ahead and ask for a roll call vote. All right, I'll go to David first,
Yes?
and Dirk is also a yes.
And I'm a yes.
Very well, motion passes 3-0. And moving on to public comment. Bruce, I know you had something just a second ago, something you want to share?
If there's an open position, is this gonna be advertised so that others in the community are aware that a park board position is open?
We
I'm
have
not
in the
sure.
past. We have
We
always
have always in the
advertised.
past,
Yep.
but
We've always
I don't know
done
that it's
in the past.
required to post a park board or a stormwater board. We've posted it to try to get applicants. And in that regard, I know, at least for the park board, it has been a struggle sometimes to get interested parties to come forward. I know when Amy came onto the board, she was the only person at the time that had come forward and expressed an interest.
I know in my case, they came to me to be on the board.
Yeah, well, you replaced Bill, and
Yeah.
I don't think that one got advertised at that
No.
time.
That's a good point, I mean,
Yeah.
if we don't have somebody, I mean,
That's always been my impression, Bruce, is that if we had no one in mind that was willing to serve, we advertised it solely for the purpose of letting people know that it was open, so we could get interested parties into it. But,
I would think it'd be just a courtesy to the community that you're looking for input from the community for the parks. We have an opening, and those who would like to apply can submit their name and recommendations. You may not get anybody, and then again, there may be somebody out there that comes highly recommended. You don't know until you ask the community or the town, in this case, is there anybody interested in being on the board for the park board? Simple thing in the courier, take care of that.
And do they have to be a resident of the town, or?
yes. So this is one of the four positions that are appointed by town council, that the way the ordinance is written is they have to be a resident of Leo-Cedarville. And I know,
and they are political sensitive too, when they can be.
so the way the overall state statute is written is you're supposed to have a balance.
Okay,
Yes.
So it just makes it difficult.
gotcha. No, yeah, all right.
So, I would say, Mr. Smith, there's an individual who I would say is highly recommended. And that's why I felt comfortable doing this the way we did tonight. But for any future vacancies, Bruce, we will take that into consideration.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Any other for? You don't have to wait till public comment, Brian.
This is me not as an employee, this is just me as a 2 miles outside town. I would like, me personally, I think everyone on the board, including town council, being our parks are one of our biggest assets. I mean, that is a drawing card if people wanna spend stupid amount of money for, housing out here. I personally think that everybody involved should maybe spend 2 hours a month at each park. Just go pack a lunch,
you know,
I would qualify to say it's especially different, Brian, when you see it through the eyes of a 3-year-old.
yeah.
How they navigate it, following
I
them
take
around.
grandkids down, right, you take your grandkids down, and then I can see what they love there, yeah.
Well, and when I go there, I look at it as a business way of looking at it is, where's our liabilities? You know, what can we do to prevent liabilities? That kind of thing. And that's where I think we're helping you guys, everybody, and not just the park board, but also town council members. You know, all of you guys together makes some pretty big decisions. And I think it's just going to inform everybody a lot.
Good
So,
point.
I mean, go for it, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly. I mean, I know you guys aren't getting like filthy loaded rich on these positions, but, you know, but you're also not in these positions for the money, you're in it for, you want to see our town grow and prosper, so that's just my 2 cents worth.
Absolutely.
Has anybody ever brought it up to you guys about having like a pet drinking station over there at Riverside?
At Riverside Gardens, a dog park, yes, has been brought up, but instead of a dog park, just a drinking station, or,
For animals, for dogs. I mean,
Yeah, like
you're gonna be walking
they
a
have
dog. I mean, there's probably somebody that's got a cat that walk, but these
Not a-
open dog owners.
Oh, we have a walking cat in our neighborhood.
not a drinking station specifically, but we have had a dog park, that's been expressed, in times past.
Many times.
Yeah. I don't know. I just.
It's a good idea.
It's like meeting, but like, now that I'm on the council, I find people calling me and stopping me and, hey, you guys thought about this, thought about that?
Well, and this is where that, being at the parks, most of the people that are out there walking every day, they are walking their dogs and stuff, so I mean, and most of those people, I mean, actually, when I started here, a lot of the doggy poopy things were empty, so there weren't any bags in there. Well, most people bring their own anyway. I keep it full now, but they're, you know, people are most of the pet owners are pretty responsible, so I mean, I've seen people bring their dogs water and stuff, you know, not a bottle of water, so I don't know.
Yeah, this is just people, obviously this summer it's been,
Yeah.
we've had a record hot summer so far, so you're seeing the impact. Yeah. Throwing it out there, not saying it's gotta be done.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Just one?
Well, you know, well, that's.
Yeah.
Just one?
What's that?
Just one, you think?
Yeah, I know we don't need 10 stations, but if you have something that's central to, I don't know. And I wouldn't be running lines
Yeah.
100 feet to make it work. Like, there's gotta be a way that you can economically tie it into something existing. That
Near the Grand Pavilion, perhaps?
Well, when we get the water line put in, the problem with the drinking fountains, and we did check them out, the one that we found from the company where we got the doggy things, it was $540 for the ones where you don't have snow, and it was like $800 for the ones that are insulated for all winter. But we have the ability to turn it off. And, you know, I think our water line's gonna have the ability to be turned off, right? Isn't that, yeah, so we would have the ability to just turn it off and winterize it for the winter. But I know that they're not cheap, but I mean, I can't see where one wouldn't be impossible if we're gonna run water line to the Grand Pavilion, is put one up there. That's halfway around the park to where
Well,
maybe,
the thing is where to keep the cost down, the water line for the Grand Pavilion would be on not on the sidewalk side, be on the outside.
oh, on the other side.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause
that,
I mean, it basically
Yeah.
almost doubles the price to get the water
Yeah.
line that much farther, so.
Certainly something to look into.
so that would
I gotta
hurt.
run.
Okay.
I left Syracuse at 7:30 this morning, I'm about ready to pass out. Been a long day.
The bad thing
We're not
about
ready
the way the Riverside's
Well-
put together, that patio out the back and the concrete that runs around the building, all of that is covering every bit of our water lines.
I've
So-
got to adjourn the meeting now, since
Okay.
we don't have a quorum anymore.
No,
So,
that's fine. Oh, yeah, that's right.
with no further business, meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Forgot about that.
We can continue talking about, yeah, the fountain
Oh.
details, but
Yeah, it's like, when the guy came out to do the water line and look at it, he said,
thank you.
he said, do you know why they poured concrete every single place and didn't leave? Like, sometimes they'll leave they'll take a spot and they'll leave a spot for the water line with an